Hey guys, this is Minishcap1, and I wanted to make this video because I wanted to highlight. This is actually a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, but I've never had a good replay to show of it because usually no one ever picks a full AD team comp, even in solo queue ever. I guess this is flex queue, but still. Singed. The reason I wanted to make this video is because Singed is actually really great versus full AD teams because armor items are really good at Singed because armor items in general are more effective than MR items, and the armor items that Singed can get synergize pretty well with this kit. Like I didn't actually go Sunfire Cape this game, but Sunfire Cape is really good with Singed because you can get more magic damage and AoE around you just to couple with your Poison Trail. Frozen Heart, which is the item that I'm rushing this game. The reason that Frozen Heart is so good on Singed is because the Frozen Heart aura actually procs the double burn of Liandry's. The attack speed slow of Frozen Heart counts as a crowd control for the purpose of Liandry's. So here, they caught me while I was proxying, so I decided to ghost and get up out of there. There's no reason for me to try and continue that proxy because there's both of them there. So yeah. In addition to the Liandry or the Frozen Heart aura proccing the double burn from Liandry's, you also get 20% CDR, which is just straight up 20 seconds off of the cooldown of your ultimate. As Singed, late game that can make or break a game sometimes because CDR to get that extra cooldown off of your ult is good since the cooldown itself is so long. Now, CDR I think is actually a really great stat on Singed. The problem with it on Singed though is he doesn't really have a good build path normally to make use of CDR. The only way for him to get like a large amount of CDR is for him to get a Frozen Heart like this. And with that, he can actually. I missed my fling on the minion there. Yeah, you gotta hit him with the BM when you miss the fling, so they know that you're serious. But this is the only way to get a large amount of CDR and Singed. CDR and Singed means more ults, more flings, more mega adhesives. It's a good stat because his cooldowns are actually pretty high. So I'll talk about runes and masteries here in a second, but I started with a Dark Seal on a refillable potion this game because you want to just have the damage and slight bit of sustain versus Yasuo. So here I actually misjudged, I think, the amount of damage he can put out on me, and he starts all-inning me, I think. Yeah, so he starts all-inning me because I thought that I was a lot tankier than I actually am. He recognized the potential all-in. I should have ghosted, but I didn't have it because I did a really shitty proxy attempt at level 1, and he knows that I have no ghost, so he all-ins me. He takes a lot of damage from poison, and then my Olaf just runs in and kills him. So yeah, I should have recognized the fact that level 2, level 3 Yasuo has 2 points in his E, and with Yasuo having 2 points in E, that means that all he has to do is E onto a minion twice, and then he'll be able to do a really big burst of magic damage on you with his charged up E. So the rune page I'm using this game, you guys have actually seen me. I've used this rune page before on videos. I've used this rune page before on stream, and this rune page is actually one that I copied off of a Korean top laner. His name is ADD. He's on the MVP, and the way I found that this Singed rune page in particular is that I was just looking through Korean pro player builds, and I saw that one of them was playing Singed. It wasn't Looper, to my surprise. It was this person named MVP ADD. So I thought that the rune page might have some merit, and I've adopted it since then. The rune page is 3 armor quints, 9 magic pen reds, 9 health per level yellows, and 9 AP blues. So what this page does is it gives you that little bit of damage early so you can lane. It gives you a scaling amount of health so you can scale in the late game, while also having the armor in laning phase to stop yourself from getting fucked by an all-in. You actually get more armor this way than buying, than going armor or seals, because you get 9 armor out of seals and you get 13 armor out of quints. Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, I have not been running movement speed runes for a long time because I've been running Righteous Glory. I don't think that movement speed runes are very necessary when you have a Righteous Glory, but it is something that I want to test out again, because Youmuu's got nerfed this season, and less people are buying it, so I think maybe movement speed runes will actually be useful again now that you won't get outspeeded by literally anybody who buys a fucking Youmuu's. Yasuo oversteps there, and I end up getting a fling on him. Then this is just a matter of me not walking next to him, letting Olaf finish him off, because if I walked next to him, there's a chance he would have used his 2-charge E auto Q to kill me, and the best way to avoid that is just to let my teammate kill him off. So yeah, those are my runes. As far as masteries go, I'm running 12-0-18. I'm actually running this new mastery in the Ferocity tree. It's called Fresh Blood, and what Fresh Blood does is on a 6-second cooldown, your first auto attack on an enemy champion deals 10 bonus damage plus 1 for every level that you are. So it's an early game mastery. This mastery is garbage late game. It's early game mastery, but the thing about it is, you can combo it with your Sky Auto Attack and get a very large chunk of damage off by doing a Sky Auto Attack, because your Auto Attack, when you're flinging, will actually proc this mastery, and it'll give you a large chunk of damage. So here Yasuo starts to all-in me. I don't do a lot of damage to him initially, but after I fling him, I get the auto attack off, and he starts taking a lot of damage from not only poison, but he takes a few melee minion hits there. Starts taking residual damage from poison, and we both basically just make each other back off. So to keep talking about masteries, I end up taking Unyielding in the Resolve tree, because I'm going to be stacking a lot of armor this game, and I want to get as much bonus out of that as I can. I take Tough Skin, because Yasuo is going to auto-attack me in lane, Zed's going to auto-attack, Kha'Zix is going to auto-attack, Kate's going to auto-attack. There's no reason for me not to take Tough Skin here, especially because I'm not, like, prioritizing proxying, but I am still going to do it a bit. Runic Armor, generally always, unless you're versus a lane that's going to be trying to all-in you, like Riven or Teemo. I take the new Fearless Mastery. I've talked about this before, but the new Fearless Mastery is great. It gives you a little bit of tankiness every so often. Great mastery overall. I'm not sure if I like Fearless more than like Insight. Insight is the 15% summoner spell cooldown reduction mastery. I've been feeling like they're both good. I'm not sure which one's better yet, or at least better for me, and it's something that will require me to playtest to make a decision on. Of course, I'm taking the Swiftness Mastery, because that's the only reason that you really go down the Resolve tree, besides these new masteries. These new masteries do give a bit of incentive to go further down the Resolve tree, which I like. In Keystone, I'm taking Courage of the Colossus. I've talked about Courage of the Colossus before, but I guess just to reiterate, I really like how Courage of the Colossus is an active mastery. You get a shield on your fling, which is basically like a wet dream for Singed. As you can see right there, I tanked an entire tower shot with Courage of the Colossus. So Kha'Zix jumps over this wall, and I'm isolated, and I just pop my ult, and I try and ghost away. I notice that I'm doing a lot of damage to him, so I try and go back in to fight him more. I actually probably could have killed him here, but Zed ends up showing up and finishing me off. My idea was that I probably could have just kited that Kha'Zix out and killed him with poison, but Zed shows up, unfortunately. He did a good rotation there. As far as items go, I went Glacial Shroud, and I'm going into a Frozen Heart first, because Frozen Heart will slow the auto attacks of literally everybody on their team. It's the least effective, I guess, versus Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix doesn't auto attack that much, but he still does. And the CDR that you get as Singed is still going to be relatively useful. Oh yeah, Frozen Heart also gives you 100 HP. So something to consider when you are buying Frozen Heart on Singed, that even though his passive is pretty shit, even though his passive is garbage, you still do get some HP somewhere. So here, if you notice, the reason I'm just shoving Yasuo in, and the reason I'm not actually going to fight him, is because I'm rushing a Frozen Heart, and me rushing a Frozen Heart means that I'm not going to be able to do a lot of damage to him, as if I was building AP. So the best option here is, because I'm building tanky, is just to push him in and try and farm safely. And my minions alone have already gotten his tower to almost half HP, so pushing him in is pressuring him. You always want to try and be aware of whenever Yasuo's have that empowered Q. If you can dodge that, it means that they have to use it 2 more times on enemy units before they can use it again. So here I'm just looking for a proxy because I saw that Olaf pushed Kha'Zix out of mid lane, and I know that Kha'Zix is low, and if he tries to come gank me, I'll probably be able to kill him. So that's why I'm going for the proxy here. Plus, the good thing about proxying like this is if you get a proxy like this off and you decide to recall, instead of the creeps meeting at or their creeps pushing your tower, your creeps are just going to meet here in the middle. It gives you a free 30 seconds to recall and run back to lane if you're proxy and then recall. So here I'm looking at the map and I see that blue is almost about to spawn, so I go and check it. It's not there, so I decided to go for another proxy wave. My team's getting objectives around the map, so this is pretty good. I'm pressuring a lot, making Yasuo tank the creeps and pop his health potions while I'm just looking around in the jungle to see what I can do. They think that I'm doing blue right now, which is why you saw them pinging. I actually decided not to do blue because I don't know where Kha'Zix is anymore, and Kha'Zix is definitely healed by now, so it's a good idea for me to try and get out. So this is something I want to highlight. I'm watching bottom, and the reason I'm watching bottom is because I know that they're gonna fight. I see Yasuo. Can rewind that just a bit. I'm watching bottom while I'm shopping and while I'm recalling and walking back to lane. And the reason I'm watching is because I know that there's going to be a fight, because this is what you always do. You always watch bot lane and stop. Yasuo channels TP and then he cancels it. And as soon as he cancels it, I cancel mine too. And the reason I cancel is because my team's winning the fight anyways. If I were to have completed that teleport instead of just running back to lane, Yasuo would have just canceled his, killed all these creeps, and then taken my tower, and I would have been put behind in a situation where I didn't need to fall behind. That mirroring a teleport there, it's unfortunate that I couldn't get anything out of it, but I also stopped him from getting anything out of it. So it's important to know, I think, when to complete your teleport and when to not. Pay attention to where the enemy is teleporting and exactly what you can do with it. So yeah, I finished Frozen Heart pretty early. My farm is really good right now. And with this Frozen Heart, if I do get into a fight with Yasuo, he has a lot less kill pressure on me because he's going to be attacking me a lot slower. And I am going to have that tankiness from the armor. And the slight amount of HP that I get from it. There, I wanted to go for a goofling on him, but he ends up walking away from me and I couldn't actually complete it. So this is actually something that I want to talk about. These blast flower plants, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But while you're proxying, a lot of the time you can just run back up to these flower plants and get over the wall safely if you're getting chased. I really like those new flower plants, like those plants and these plants in the river that spawn the little like, what the fuck do they call them? They call them fruits. Those are really good for Singed because you can push your enemy in, and you can just go and collect those as Singed. So I wanna go back over this right here. I rotate, and I see that Kha'Zix is getting into a fight with Olaf. We all walk right onto the Thresh Lantern, so he can't grab it, and then we end up getting the kill on Kha'Zix. And then yeah, we decided to push this tower in. While this is happening, I know that my tower is going down, but I'm not that worried about it because after the whole teleport shenanigans in bot lane, my team actually took this tower, so we already have tower first blood. So even if Yasuo managed to get this tower on this push, it's not that big of a deal. So here, what's happening is my bot lane wants to rotate top so that they can push this tower, and because my mid lane is already pushed, I don't need to go mid lane and split. Fizz is splitting bottom, so Fizz has that pressure down. And yeah, just decided to start pushing top with my bot lane because Jinx is really good at taking towers. Fizz is just bot lane getting a bunch of solo kills, and he's making a lot of pressure for us. So here, Yasuo is trying to farm around me, and I know that my Jinx is walking up, and because she's walking up, I decide to try and fight him. Sadly, he ends up escaping because he's really slippery. My team gets into a fight down here. They start shitting on. Okay, so yeah, I didn't do anything here at all. Yeah, they just shit on those guys. I think, yeah, so once again, Fizz is trying to fight bot lane. Sadly, he doesn't get anything there, but this is important. I know that even if Yasuo comes mid, he can't defend this tower from 4 of us, and the amount of pressure that Fizz is creating allows us to take this tower for free. And I know that if we get into a situation where we have to tower dive, or if I have to tank the tower, because I have Frozen Heart, it makes me a lot tankier. And able to complete that. So here, like I said before, I can just dive this tower like it's almost like it's nothing because of the Frozen Heart. I end up running away. I die to the true damage smite of Kha'Zix's smite, but it's still okay. We got an inhibitor. We lose, yeah, so we lose 2, but getting the inhibitor makes that okay. Jinx is shitting on them here. So yeah, that early Frozen Heart makes him really tanky. And it wasn't the most optimal dive, but because he got the inhibitor, they can't really get an objective out of it because Baron hasn't spawned yet. Okay, so I actually managed to farm a full Liandry's Torment before I recalled. And what that means is this is a really big power spike. Like I said at the beginning of this video, Liandry's Torment, burn damage is doubled against movement impaired units. That movement impaired unit, it actually also counts the Frozen Heart attack speed aura. So even though it's technically not movement, you do get the double burn from the attack speed debuff aura. So the original person who I actually saw doing this build was LOOPER, and I guess this is a build that I would call the LOOPER build because this is something that I've seen him do a lot in the past. He likes going full tank Singe with like 1 damage item, and this is his version of that, where he goes like full tank with the Liandry's and Frozen Heart because of the synergy that those items have with each other. I think it's a great build, especially versus the full AD team. I do like the Righteous Glory build more, because of the amount of utility it gives Singe, but this is a good build if you're just looking to like just straight up tank, while also dealing meaningful damage. So here I'm just looking for Yasuo. I don't know exactly where he is. Turns out he's killing the Krugs. I'm gonna talk about the Krugs a little bit. If you do have time to kill the Krugs that's singed, always take that time because you get a shit ton of gold for killing Krugs now. But it's an investment. You do take a lot of damage doing it. So if you have the sustain, like in terms of potions to be able to do it, you should do it. Also, these raptors, they have like 6 little tiny ones now, so you can just walk past that with your poison trail on, and you'll end up getting a lot of gold out of that, essentially for free, because you can kite them out. So my team's fighting bottom. I see this is going down. I teleport and I pop my I pop my ult and I pop Ghost here a little bit when I have it. I get the fling onto Caitlyn. As you can see, they're taking a lot of damage here. Just from the double burn of my Liandry's because it's actually still affecting them. And I'm taking the tower this entire time. Like, the tower's been hitting me over and over. I'm tanking them. I'm tanking Yasuo here. Dodge the tornado, and I just keep diving. Those tower shots are, like, doing nothing to me. And that entire time, my Frozen Heart was giving my Liandry's a double burn. So I'm going to play that fight back from the beginning one more time. Okay, so this right here is when I teleport, and initially I'm not able to get a decent fling on their backline, so I just start zoning them out, but then Caitlyn will miss micros and walks up to me. I get the fling on her, I get a really big shield from Courage of the Colossus, and look at this burn damage that they're taking. They're getting chunked really hard by my poison and Liandry's going on, getting the double burn from the Frozen Heart aura. I'm taking the tower the entire time, you know, tower, like, Singe don't give a fuck about the tower right now. dodge the Yasuo tornado, get the fling on him, and I kill him. And then, so what's interesting about this is that even though my kills were not the highest in this game, I did the most damage in this game. I had the highest damage. I had more damage than Fizz, I had more damage than Olaf, I had more damage than Jinx, I had more damage than the entire enemy team. As a tank, building 1 damage item, I did more damage than 7 carry characters, which I think is really important to highlight. Singe can do this very well versus AD teams. It's usually versus only AD teams, but you can be, I think, probably the highest damage tank versus AD comps. So if you're ever in a situation in solo queue where you need to play versus a full AD team, I would definitely, as a top laner, I would definitely consider taking Singed, because this build allows him to do a shit ton of damage to full AD teams while also being very, very tanky and doing just amazing things in terms of being able to tank towers as well. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.